And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Well, the time has almost come. No, not for a Joni Loves Chachi reunion.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. But time for the second GOP debate we've been rambling on about. And when it comes down to it, the winners and losers won't be decided by know-it-all pundits like Rick or Brad or Joe or me or anybody, but by the American people. So what is the general public anticipating going into tonight's debate? I spoke to a few on the sunny streets of Manhattan earlier today, allegedly.
So you will be watching the presidential debate?
Yes.
What are you looking for in that debate?
Some honest answers and not the same canned responses that people normally give.
Will you be watching the next presidential debate?
I will.
And who's your horse in the race right now?
I was initially a Trump guy, but I'm trying to turn for Carson right now.
Why did Ben Carson from Donald Trump?
I think he's a little more calm, cool, and collective.
You're saying that Trump may fly off the handle once in a while?
On occasion, yes, he's been known to do so.
Maybe. We'll see.
Depends on what's on, right? I mean, if Real World Road Rules challenge is on, you got to go in that direction.
You gotta go there.
Absolutely, wouldn't miss it.
And who's your horse in the race?
Actually, I would say that I think it's the time for Hillary.
Will you be watching the next presidential debate?
Most likely.
And who's your horse in the race at this point?
I don't have a horse. I don't have a favorite right now. I'm actually hoping for Jeb Bush, but he's kind of down on the numbers right now, so we'll have to wait and see as time goes further and more debates happen. Hopefully there'll be a clear favorite.
So will you be watching the next GOP presidential debate?
I will.
And do you have a horse in the race at all?
Yes, the Donald.
You vote for Donald Trump if the election were held tomorrow?
Absolutely. I think the Doc and Trump make a good team.
So you could see a Trump-Carson ticket then, Trump on top and then Carson being the VP.
That's what I'm hoping, unless, of course, our favorite gets in, Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Then it would be Trump and Palin. That would be the way to go.
I'm not sure how I feel about who's running for president, and I'm from Texas, and I understand Rick Perry will be there.
Actually, Rick Perry dropped out last week.
Okay, so I'm not up to date on the latest.
So will you be watching the next presidential debate?
I will.
And who's your horse in the race?
John Kasich.
I'm a Kasich guy myself.
How are you?
What do you like about the Ohio governor?
He's practical. He's conservative, but practical. He's got a wealth of experience, both in Congress and in running a state. I think he's the guy.
Do you think Brian Williams can be trusted to be a good moderator?
If he can keep his tall tales to a minimum, I think so, yes.
And finally, do you think Brian Williams could do a good job tomorrow night as moderator?
He will, yes. I know he will.
Okay, great.
I can't imagine that Brian Williams will be the debate moderator, but that was a good trick question.
That's right. Will you be drinking or not drinking?
Not drinking.
Not drinking.
No. Yeah, I may want to drink afterwards, but during the debate I will not be drinking.
Will you be drinking during tomorrow night's debate?
Probably, well, it depends how interesting it is. If it's interesting enough, it'll keep my attention, I won't have to.
I have a feeling that you won't have to.
Yeah.
Get your Patron and popcorn ready. So interesting that Brian Williams is being brought in by CNN to moderate tonight's debate.
Are you surprised?
Not at all. I mean, look, he's a major newsman. Maybe Jake Tapper doesn't have the stature that a Williams does. I asked this actually of about 15 people, and 14 of the 15, outside of that one gentleman, completely were like, I think he will, as long as he doesn't tell any tall tales.
Well, they'll bring in a helicopter instead of the plane as the backdrop.
Exactly. So as you know, during Man on the Streets, normally you find a lot of stupid or misinformed people. A lot of people here were very much in tune with what's going on. They had very better than you guys in terms of analysis.
That's not saying anything.
Of course, damning with faint praise there.
You know, this is New York. You get some very sharp people out there. We had a guy one night that I had done. I was ready to give him my seat.
Really?
Yeah.
God, you didn't follow through.
Well, I'm sorry. You know, I know you're disappointed. There are limits.
What I was shocked though is I met a lot of people who are saying I'm voting for Trump.
Yeah.
Trump. There was a couple of Kasich sprinkled in, one Carson as we saw, and then one guy for Hillary, which I expected more Democratic type of answers, and then two people said they'd vote for Obama again. So it's fascinating when you get out there and you actually speak to people. We certainly live in a bubble, and we don't get the way people are thinking out there, and they're just not. You know, they're not doing this every night, so they just have a general feeling and they go with it, like when you're picking a horse but not reading the program. Joe?
Yeah, I think it's interesting if you look at the people voting for Trump. I think the GOP is getting a good balance of people who are going to watch the debate, people in the audience, and people on stage are all coming out to be about the same number now. so that they're going to have they'll have a complete three-way split of people actually running and people actually watching.
That's true. What do you think of the proposal of a Trump-Palin ticket, Brad?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at them, but since it's not going to right, it's comical. I think what's interesting about all the people supporting Trump and Carson is the common denominator is they haven't been politicians.
Yeah.
People want something fresh.
And on that fresh direct note, who do you think is going to win tonight's debate? Go to newsmaxtv.com/comments and share your thoughts. And also be sure to tune in tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern, that's 5 on Hawaii, for our live debate coverage. You can even weigh in on the fun by registering for our instant poll, where you can pick tonight's winner. Sign up now at newsmax.com/judge. That's newsmax.com/judge. Coming up, we're going to take a look back at the first debate. It certainly was memorable. Lots of sound. Stay tuned.